For joining us now on the news to discuss this national displeasure over police brutality is Executive Director of Clean Foundation, Dr. Benson Olugbo. Thank you for joining us at this time. Well, from social media now to the streets, Nigerians are protesting and they are calling for an end to police brutality. Some are saying end SARS, but should it be that or reform the police force?
Thank you very much. I think it's something that has been coming, and I think Nigerians, especially Nigerian youths, are tired of promises and promises upon promises by the police hierarchy to reform the Nigerian police force. So what we are saying is a pushback from youths who are dissatisfied with several years of brutality, extrajudicial killing, human rights abuses, torture, and the inability of both the government and leadership of the Nigerian police force to show sincerity in terms of reforming the Nigerian police force. But the reality also is that NSAS is more or less a short-term strategy. There has to be a holistic strategy to reform the Nigerian police force, because SARS is just a unit in the Nigerian police force, and there are several other issues that we have in terms of the Nigerian police force of today. You'll be aware that just in this 2020 that we got a new act of the Nigerian Police Act of 2020. We've been using a law that was bequeathed to us by our colonial masters in 1943, and had some changes in terms of the regulation in 1968, and then some, very small changes in 2014 and 2004. So it's systemic, it's endemic, and I think hopefully this protest will bring out the need for government to understand that citizens are actually tired. But I think we should just go beyond NSAS. I think we should look critically at issues that will inform a well-reformed Nigerian police force that will actually meet the yearnings and needs of Nigerians generally.
All right, Mr. Olugbo, as it is now, these police officers are first Nigerians before they are even operatives of the police. And just yesterday, one of them was actually killed in cold blood. Another family thrown into mourning.
Yeah, so that is what we're actually saying. We want to commiserate with several Nigerians who have died for police brutality. It is also important to remind Nigerians that police officers are also Nigerians. They come from families. Some few years ago, I think 2018, we had a panel. We worked with the National Human Rights Commission to do a panel on SARS. And the interesting thing that happened is that a lot of people who had complaints were not able to come because they were scared. They were afraid of vindication, of actually retribution. And those of them who actually came told us they were threatened and all those things. But the reality is that every life matters, whether it is the life of Nigerians, whether it's the life of a police officer. It is important that we don't take law into our hands. But I think it's a pushback, really, that the citizens are doing. But if the protesting is a right that is protected under the Nigerian Constitution. So I think everybody has a right to protest. What is the problem now is where people now start carrying weapons and start killing police officers is not good. But we must also condemn the brutality that has been meted out to citizens. And I think one thing we have to do is actually a soul-searching experience, because the current vice president, when he was the acting president, he initiated a reform. There was actually a presidential panel that was set up. That presidential panel met, sat in several places, and made far-reaching recommendations. The last thing we had was that the president had set up a committee to review the recommendations. And as I speak, we've not had anything about the recommendation from that presidential panel.
I'm afraid that's the much we'll be able to take. Mr. Benson Olugbo, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us on TVC News at 10.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.